moves the needle or changes the calculus up here?
Well, for me, I think it's absolutely critical that we provide additional support for the Ukrainians. I started my question by saying I have nothing but profound admiration for the Ukrainian people and their will to fight and his leadership. It's been an inspiration. As you know, the White House has requested a package of funding that includes a number of components, including Israel, including the Indo-Pacific, including the border. And the only thing that is really holding this up at this point is the unwillingness of the White House so far to acknowledge that they're going to have to deal with the border component, not just to pay for, the current policies, which are releasing millions of people into the interior, but actually changes in the asylum system, changes in the mass release system known as parole. Once they begin to get serious about it, I think we can move this package along.
The president says he's willing to compromise. Are Republicans united around what changes you would like to see?
Well, Senator Langford has been taking the lead on this. A number of us have been contributing to it. I think it's pretty clear what the outlines of that looks like. Although I think it's going to take the president himself telling his cabinet and telling his staff, get this done. Unfortunately, it looks like because this discussion started so late in the year before the holidays that it's unlikely we're going to be able to get this done before the end of the year. That's regrettable, I think unfortunate. It's created some uncertainty by President Zelensky and the Ukrainians and our allies, but that's where we are.
Do you support what the Texas Attorney General did in blocking Kate Cox from getting an abortion after she found out her
That's strictly a matter of state law, not federal law.
Thing though?
Did the issue of immigration come up in the meeting? Did you Republicans bring it up?
Yes, number of senators brought up that being a component of any deal, and I think President Zelensky wisely decided not to weigh in on that. But he understands that that's part of this puzzle. And again, once our Democratic colleagues understand that we're serious about this, as I think they're beginning to understand, the sooner we can get to a solution.
Was there any tensions in the meeting, or was it collegial? I know the last briefing you guys had with the Biden administration got a little testy.
Well, that's because they didn't want to talk about the border. And again, the president's $106 billion emergency supplemental includes a lot of money, billions of dollars for the border. So I don't know why it should be out of bounds to talk about the border and actually fixing what's broken. But no, this seemed to be very cordial and respectful.
Senator, do you think Republicans would be willing to do anything on DACA or any other of the concessions on immigration?
No. This is not a typical immigration debate. I've been here a while and been part of almost every immigration discussion. We have been spectacularly unsuccessful in dealing with that. This is about the border and stopping the current open border policies of the administration and the influx of humanity across the border.
But are you worried about women in your state whose health may be at risk by Texas laws like Kate Cox?
Well, I'm a federal official. I'm not a state official, so I'm not going to comment on what state officials are doing. I'm happy to comment on anything that I'm responsible for.
Did President Zelensky at all discuss about the fact that this might be pushed into January and how that could affect the Ukrainian war effort?
Well, I think he's nervous about it, as he should be. One of my questions is how can we get the Europeans, for whom this is an existential threat, to do more? He had some ideas. They've provided humanitarian assistance, financial assistance. Certainly the refugees that have fled Ukraine because of the war, many of them are now living in places like Poland and other countries next to Ukraine. But I think we all understand what the threat is and what we need to do. We need to make sure that Europe and that for whom this is an existential threat step up and do more. And this isn't a burden that is exclusively borne by the American taxpayer.
Did he make any difference, do you think? Was anyone convinced by his arguments that was previously on the fence, or?
I don't know whether he moved the needle at all. I still believe there's a supermajority support for continuing to support Ukraine. But as I said, there's multiple pieces of the puzzle. It's not just the Ukraine puzzle. Obviously, we've had a bill that passed the House on November 2nd to provide aid to Israel. So this is Senator Schumer's choosing to delay all of that for this discussion, which is now backed up here on the holidays, and looks like we've run out of time. Thank you.
Thank you.